and somebody is going to lose. And when that happens, we got a psychology problem. That's right. In Black America, potentially. Talk to me about how we navigate this moment psychologically as Black people in America 400 years later.
The conflict is not one of us versus them. It is a conflict of us versus us. Regardless whether it's Obama or Obama's mama or anybody else out there, the reality is that the issues remain the same. And what we must constantly keep on the front burner is the word and not the face. And how we can often get duped and bamboozled by being caught up about which costume you're going to put on without dealing with the essence beneath that. Now, if that is our issue, then it doesn't matter whose face is in the White House. If we change the substance of what America is, then we will win no matter what. If we somehow think that changing the face is going to change the essence, then we will be duped and bamboozled again. We then won't be disappointed if we do not get distracted by superficial arguments about who is in the fashion show and instead talk about who's making the fashion.
This is not about just electing the first female or the first Black. It's about electing a president who understands when the levees fail and the water rises that you come and you lift people up and you get them out. It's about ensuring that we have a president who will not play games with the governor or the mayor in terms of who can file the most paperwork so that people can get their money to rebuild their homes. It's about having a president with the right people around him, no longer, Mr. Brownie, that put trailers here that do not contain formaldehyde, and that give contracts and reward those who are helping people here, not because they somehow or another contributed to their campaign war chest. The vote I cast as a superdelegate is a vote for a candidate who will back the covenant in the platform, a candidate that will give us every dime and penny we need to rebuild my home state and my city, a candidate who will promise to invest in public education, and yes, public hospitals. We need a charity hospital. If you tell me we don't, I'm telling you, you're lying. A president who understands that when people are stuck, when they're stuck on their roof, when they are crying out for their country to come and save them, when they're just begging for a bottle of water, my little niece, 13, she was in that water, and she said, Auntie Donna, they just kept driving by us and flying over us. They were not rescued the Tuesday after the storm. They were not rescued the Wednesday after the storm. They were not rescued the Thursday. Someone came and got them on Friday, and it was not their government. It was two white men in a boat from Shreveport.
Thank God for Katrina. We need to hold elected officials accountable, but we also need to hold each other accountable. Because we have a lot of genius and a lot of potential, a lot of institutional assets that I think we misspend because we engage in bickering and in the kind of jealousy that Dr. King experienced. But if we can transcend that and put forth what is it that we have in common as Republican, as Democrat, as Independent, no matter who you are, let's keep the best interest of our children front and foremost. And let's bracket all these other things that divide us. Because this historical trope of what Du Bois sees as he looks at the color line, he also uses a wonderful phrase, a little different from reclaiming our democracy. He uses the phrase, we need to rehabilitate American democracy. Because America was sick on the drug, the poison of white supremacy. And he said it will require the black church to rehabilitate American democracy. And that's where Dr. King enters. This is where he enters and builds a multiracial, multicultural coalition of conscience. My children go to school with young white children who are sitting there saying, there's something wrong with this racist, sexist system. We cannot be loyal to it. And you see it happening around Obama. Millions of young white people are saying, we are not loyal to the politics of our fathers. We want a new day. And you know what? We should take credit for those conversions. They are a part of our movement. And I end with the words that Dr. King used in a wonderful book, a sermon titled Transformed Nonconformists. Dr. King said, this hour in history needs a dedicated circle of transformed nonconformists. The saving of our world from pending doom will come not from the action of a conforming majority, but from the creative maladjustment. Isn't that a great phrase? The creative maladjustment of a transformed minority. So we are the minority that today, in this moment in history, is slowly about to become a majority, and we're going to see change turn on the hinge.
Dr. Robert Franklin, the president of Morehouse. Coming up next on the 9th Annual State of the Black Union.
And I'll be honest, the black brother from Wells Fargo, head of the mortgage, I pulled him over and said, I need to talk to you. He said, Brother Greg, you need a mortgage. I said, no, they took my house when times was good.